if you're not farming sustainably, you're not going to kill the soil. We've started farming farms where the soil appeared dead because we didn't get good crops off of it. But after we farm it for 3 or 4 years, it starts coming to life. It comes to life through cover cropping, through composting, through proper fertility. So you know, farmers can farm badly, and you know it's not going to kill the soil. It may not kill the farm, but we think best management practices and sustainability is the best way to manage a farm, and the best way for the environment. Because we all want to protect our environment, and we don't want soil erosion. We want soils that have a lot of organic matter, that have a lot of life in them. You know, that's a good environment. We just started farming a piece of land that had been devoted to nursery for a number of years. So it was covered, it was packed down, it was covered. They never let a weed grow. All they had was plants growing in pots. So there wasn't a lot going on in that soil. So we applied tons and tons of compost, we worked the soil, we planted the crop, and we're having problems with the crop. But when we harvest that crop, we'll plant a cover crop and work the soil deeply to try and get air into it. It takes a while to rebuild the soil life that you would like in a nice, loose, fluffy soil. And you know, you just incorporate all those good management practices that, again, I think is important to sustainable farming. The comparison between human medicine and farming, I think, is pretty good, because you can see what happens in our current culture, where doctors are overprescribing antibiotics, they're overprescribing pills, people come to rely on pills. They all have their place as long as they're not overused, and the same applies to farming. If we overuse chemicals, if we overuse fertilizers, we can contaminate the groundwater with nitrates. We build up resistance so that all of a sudden the pest we're trying to kill is no longer susceptible to the materials we're using. And that's, you know, it's exactly what's happening with antibiotics. We've overused them to such an extent that now, you know, a lot of the bacteria or the diseases we're trying to kill are resistant to antibiotics. You know, I liken our system of growing to the human health. If you eat right and exercise and get plenty of rest, generally you're going to live fairly healthy. But every now and then that's going to get out of balance. And the same applies to the soils. If we treat it right, you know, we build up the organic matter, we're generally going to have healthier crops. But every now and then something's going to get out of balance, and then that's when we have to step in and intervene. So I think there's a pretty good comparison between how we farm and how we live.